In April this year, the Deputy Prime Minister said that it was his aim to end university tuition fees. Can he update the House on how his plan is progressing?
Mr. Speaker, I acknowledge, of course I acknowledge, this is an extraordinarily difficult issue, and I've been entirely open about the fact that we have not been able to deliver the policy that we held in opposition. Because of the financial situation, because of the compromises of the coalition government, we have had to put forward a different policy.
I want to hear the Deputy Prime Minister's update. The Deputy Prime Minister.
Nonetheless, we have stuck to our ambition, our wider ambition, to make sure that going to university is done in a progressive way, so that for those people who are presently discouraged from going to university, bright people from poor backgrounds, discouraged by the system we inherited from her government, are able to do so. That is why our policy is more progressive than hers.
Harriet Harman.
Well, I'm glad he thinks it's so fair. I hope he'll be going out and telling that to all the students and lecturers marching on Westminster today. In April, he said that increasing tuition fees to £7,000 a year would be a disaster. What word would he use to describe fees of £9,000?
I think, Mr. Speaker, there's actually more. There is more consensus than she concedes on the simple principle that people who benefit from going to university should make a contribution for the costs of that university education. The question is, how do you do it? Do you do it fairly? Do you do it in a progressive way? The proposals we have put forward will mean that those who earn the least will pay much less than they do at the moment. Those who earn the most will pay over the odds to provide a subsidy to allow people from poor backgrounds to go to university, and will for the first time end the discrimination against the 40% of people who are on part-time students in our universities, who are so shamefully treated by her government.
Harriet Harman.
None of us agree with tuition fees of £9,000 a year. None of us. And Mr. Speaker, this is not about the deficit. The Chancellor said the deficit will be dealt with by 2014, when this new system will hardly have begun. No, this is not about the deficit. This is about him going along with a Tory plan to shove the cost of higher education onto students and their families. Look, Mr. Speaker, we all know what it's like. You're at Freshers' Week. You meet up with a dodgy bloke and you do things that you regret. Isn't it true? Isn't it true? Isn't it true? He's been led astray by the Tories. Isn't that the truth of it?
Mr. Speaker, I know she now thinks that she can sort of reposition the Labour Party as the champion of students. Let's remember the Labour Party's record against tuition fees in 1997, introduced them a few months later. Against top-up fees in the manifesto in 2001, introduced top-up fees. Then set up the Brown Review, which they're now trashing. Now have a policy to actually tax graduates, which half the front bench doesn't even believe in. Maybe she will go out to the students who are protesting outside now and explain what on earth her policy is.